Welcome back, YouTubers, Father and Son's Training Room. I'm Mr. Tommy and this is Mr.
Cody.
We're back today. Christmas is just around the corner. We got some track to get finished laying down. And if you notice back here in the background, I've already got a track laid down. I got most of it soldered together in big pieces. I'm going to show you all that here in just a minute. Excuse me. But here in a minute, we're going to bring you to the table and we're going to explain to you what we're doing. Today we hope to get all the road bed done. Not on this video particular, but maybe in the next video. I hope this video, because Christmas is just 4 days away and we got to get her done. But anyway, we've already done a test run on what we got wired up, and I've actually got some wiring things I got to show you from a previous video. I did mess up on my original wiring, but it's easy fix. We come back, we fixed it, and got our wires where they're supposed to be. But we got more wires to run on our bus wire. But we're going to pause the video and we're going to bring you to the table and we're going to show you what we got. Stay tuned. Alright, here it is. We got track laid out. I've got it pinned down with our track stakes. Got them all the way around. I've got a bunch of this soldered down together. So when I take it back apart, it'll all be one section. Here, one section there, one section there, a section over here. But as you can see, we've already got some cork board going down right there. I've already got that back there in the back done, and I went ahead and done the bridge. Now the bridge, that's a whole new subject. Whenever I was laying the foam board down, I thought then that it's flat from there to there. There's no transition going downhill. And then as soon as it comes off the bridge, it starts downhill. Now, that's a poor design in their part. I can modify and fix that, but I'm not. I think I've done a pretty good job what I've done. I got my track saw out over there, and I notched out a little section right there to kind of tilt that bridge down some. But anyway, I've already got it glued down. I'm going to bring you over here to the table. Kind of zoom you in a little bit more. Anyway, I took the saw. Of course I had the bridge out. Anyway, I notched out about a 1/4 inch on this side. This side was higher than this side. This side was fine. When I put it back on, I set it down. Bring your cork board up. You want your cork board level with the plastic of the on the bridge. I'm still just a touch high here. So what I've done was I kind of brought this side up a little bit. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. I have not glued right here yet. This one here back is glued. But this right here ain't glued. I'm going to shim this up a little bit before I put my ballast down. And then glue it down. And that's going to help make it a little smoother coming down the hill. Because when we first put it on there, we got the 282 on here right now. And when it was coming across, it just derailed every time right there. So I cut that down, got it set. But I've done all this before I put the road bed. The reason I done that was to make sure everything's going to be right. So I'm going to run the camera back here, and then I'm going to turn the engine on. We're going to run it both directions, forward and backwards. And remember, this is DC. It's not DCC, but hopefully that won't be long. That will be changed. We got to buy some decoders and stuff. We may not get the whole thing in there. Let's see here, huh? Maybe right here at an angle a little bit. Yeah, right there. All right. Well, we're gonna run it this way first. I'm gonna put it on about 40 so y'all can watch that. Now that's just running off the bus wires that I hooked up inside the tunnel. I don't have no bus wires over here hooked up yet. and the crossovers, and none of the switches have no extra bus wires. I talked about that in a previous video. Once we get the wiring all that up, yeah, you see there it paused just a millisecond. That's got a pretty good polarity there, just very little. So you know, the capacitor on that one's actually a decent sized capacitor. If I ever do that one DCC, I don't know if I'll change the capacitor on it, because it don't seem to carry that when it goes across the air switches. It does pretty good. So let's get it back around, and I'm going to turn it around and show you the other way.
So while he was talking about like the derailments by the bridge earlier, I just want to point out that one of the derailments had the smoke box door and one of the weights of the locomotive literally just pop out. Luckily that was an easy fix.
Yeah, I forgot to change the direction, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to come out the lower end. Now it should come out at the bridge area. And right here is where we had the problem with the derailment. Right there. As you see, I run through there smooth as a whistle. Oh,
And it
spoke
derailed.
too soon. So we derailed. And I gotta remember, I don't have no cork board right here, and it's all wobbly and everything right there. So I ain't worried about that. We done test run it a while ago. Whether there was no cork board right there on the back seat, I'll bring the camera over there and show you what I'm saying. So when you test running these, always remember you got cork board already run here, none here. So this right here just goes up and down, just bounces up and down. And then I got a couple stakes here. Probably just hit them stakes right there and just pops off. But anyway, when I do get the cork board down, we're going to run this continuously. We're going to continue running, and we're going to make adjustments as needed. Because once it's finally all soldered, all glued, all we want to do is clean track from that point on. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue right here. Like I said, I've already got it from back there around the bridge and to the over there done, up to right here. So we're going to bring you back, and we're going to show you what we're going to do from this point on. We're going to go ahead and finish this whole front run right here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to come back right here and go ahead and add all this on out through here on the front end on the camera, and then probably do a time lapse of me doing everything else. And we're going to show you the switches, most important part. So the straightaway's easy, the switches is the hardest part. Anyway, pause the video, be right. Alright, here we are, we're back at the table. I'm going to go ahead and unhook this part. Now what I've already done was I draw the center line where the track's supposed to be. I got a line running here, I got little dots right here, so we're going to connect the dots. Multiple ways of doing it. You can take a straight edge. You can just take something that's straight and just eyeball it. But we got to keep track of where the center of the track is. got that one done. Like I said, I've already got this line where center of this track goes. And I went ahead and marked the endpoints here, here, and here. I got them lines out here and right there. So whenever I do lay my corkboard down, I remember where the switch goes. All I gotta do is once the corkboard's down, get them railroad spikes out, just set it back down, and I know that point goes here, that point here, and that point there. The corkboard won't cover it up, so you want to go out past where the corkboard is, so you remember where it goes. Now this one I'm just going to set it off to the side. I got a spike in it, keep it out of my way, because we're going to run this long straight one here first. Find you something long and straight. And draw your line. There we go. So I got me a long straight line from here to here, so I'm going to put a solid piece from here to here. Got my trusty corkboard out. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it to the flush to the end of the table, along through where the track goes. And another one right here to go by. I want to make sure that one is longer than the other, right here. And this one's been cut before, so I need to cut it off nice and straight edge. Always remember your corkboard, do never butt them up. Have one shorter than the other, especially in the turns. Set him up out of the way. So there you have that. And then the turnout, when it goes back in place, we're going to come up flush and flush right here. Is one way of doing it. But the best way to do it is actually not to put this one right here. Glue it down to a certain point right here and then turn it to meet up right here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this one. Just for now we're getting an idea where we need to go with this. I got, there we go, spike right there. Another one there. Place it up inside. Just like that. Follow my line. And it's going to come out just like that. Then we're going to put another piece here, and then we're going to put that piece there. So let's go ahead and get this one glued, and then we're going to work on this section right here. Get that out of the way. Dab of glue goes a long way. Don't start at the end, just kind of start right here, then work your way back, then come back. Take two, phone was ringing, be right back. 3, 2. Alright, sorry about that, had to edit the video there, had a phone call. Give me just, you just want to keep it close to the line, and I find these, this about a 1-inch popsicle stick, they work real good for this, because your corkboard is just about 1 inch wide on each side. Just spread that out and just keep it right up against the line. Make sure you got enough glue. Oh yeah. I'm going to flush it up out there, and I'm just going to hold it up against the center line that we drew that was in the center of the track. Get that smashed down in there real good. Just like that. Now, I have put glue on the back side of the cork board and this side, and I've done some I didn't do that way. Excuse my phone. I guess I need to put that on silent. But either way, it's held up pretty good. I mean, once it's dry, we'll pull up on it. You'll see it holds up real great. So we'll go ahead and take this out of the way. Same thing. Now this one's going to be a little longer out here, so we'll get an idea how long it's going to be. It's going to actually come up to back here, so I'm going to take this piece off. We'll go ahead and do us a pencil mark so we know where the glue stops. So get that out of the way. But if you want to do both sides, you know, you can watch my previous video where we was working underneath the tunnel. And I did both sides, and like I said, I don't think it's really, unless I went too far. And if you go too far, that's fine. Scoop it up. Put a little bit on this cork board right there. Get that all the way up in that corner. If it spreads out, push it back in. You want more in the center than you want on the outside edge. So if it spreads out too much on the outside, pull it back. But you can put some out here if you want to. Got a little extra there. Just like that. Now this is where you're going to need your pins. Go ahead and get this started. Take your pin. I'm going to push it all the way up against that other piece back there, and I'm going to pin it in so it don't twist out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I can see my center line about right there. Hold that up. Got it flush there, and I'm dead center, going right through that curve, so I'm happy with that. So in the curves, I like to stick my pins down just long enough for that glue to hold for a second. And right out here, I got a little mark right there. Y'all can't see it, but I can. Just make sure you keep your marks where you can see them. And there it is. So now that's setting, that's gluing, set to dry. I smudged out a bunch right here, so I want to take and clean that up, because when we get ready to set our other one down, I don't want that to be a hump in there. Then you got to get your sandpaper out, and that's a lot of aggravation. Alright, now we got that setting. Well, we'll pause the video. We're going to let this set for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up that section right there. Be right back. Alright, 3, 2. Alright, we're back. This is set up a few minutes here. Went ahead and placed me a small piece here. I went ahead and staked it in right here. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to put a placeholder with my finger right here. What I like to do right here, I use my little wood stick here for straight edge, and then just cut it right along. advised to take 2 or 3 passes. Just like that. And then it's ready. Excuse my cough. Alright, so we got that pretty close. Now, I don't know if you can see that on camera. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'll push it up in there as far as it'll go. We ain't gonna sit here and try to trim that. Don't worry about that. Get it, flush it up best you can, and come back up here. See where you need to cut. Just cut that little piece off right there. Just like that. Now you're ready to go. All you gotta do now is go ahead and get your glue down. Spread it out in there. And I turn my popsicle kind of sideways there. Get that all the way up against. I like to have a little glue on my other corkboard too. Now if you get too much in there, it takes longer for it to set up. Maybe it's stronger, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not a glue professional. But okay, now we got all that glue in there. Come back, get our pin back. Set our pin there. Set the pin there. Any glue that's sticking above, just kind of smear it out. And that's good and smooth right there. Good and smooth. There you have it. It's good and flat. Now all we got to do is put this piece in right here. So I'm going to set this to the... That it was. I got that pin right there. Like I said, I just had that pin there for just long enough to let that glue kind of sit. Alright, so let's get ready to set that side. Like I said, we're going to go from there all the way to the end of the table. And if you got scrap, always use scrap. If you don't have scrap, well, you're going to have to cut a new one. Well, this scrap is way too small, so we're going to fill us a new one up. Lay that up in there. About where my finger is where the end of it should be. You just scar it and then you can just break it right off. Alright, lay it up there one more time. Now, you can just eyeball this. It ain't got to be perfect because you're going to have ballast down in there. Once again, fit it. And yes, I'm going to run it flush to the end of the table for now. I ain't worried. Whenever I do expand it, I'm going to have to come in and level everything, get it just right, and then I'll cut and start a new one. But you see right there, it's nice and flush. Got a little gap in there, ballast will fill that up. So we'll get that glued down. Any excess glue that drips out, just wipe it on the back of this thing. That makes that glue all up in that crack right there though, because you want it to bond real good. Now, I do like to take, especially right here, in that center point where these switches fit. Sure, something heavy sitting on top. Out here, just keep pushing down a little bit. You know, in my previous video, I had drills. I had everything in the house on top of it. You can actually come back. Set an engine on there if you want to. That's something, just keep it pushed down. That way it don't rise up on you. Then once that dries, we're going to have to take and sandpaper and knock the corners off. Because, you know, when we get ready to put our ballast down, that it's going to be aggravating if we don't knock these edges down right here on this corner. But anyway, proceed on to the next section. Now, over here on this turnout, I do have this straight turnout and this piece and this crossover piece all soldered together because this is a funny little shape right here, and this is flex track I'm using right here. This piece is not, so we'll go ahead and draw a mark. I got another little line right there. That. Alright. This is the fun part. Take all your little spikes back out. Sound like Mr. Cody's gonna be sick during the holidays.
Well, I don't know or not, but I'm coughing.
Yeah, I got a cough too. I've had a head cold myself. But I said I had that solder. I forgot. I did come back and unsolder that. Another good thing about soldering the track together, you can unsolder. You just got to be patient and heat it up and slowly pull it back apart. But it will work. Now, we want to make sure that we don't misplace your pieces. That's why I like larger sections, because larger sections go back together real easy. When you're doing smaller sections, they do tend to get out of shape. This whole circle right here is one large piece. And I think that was a great idea. It may not be in the end, but I think it is. So we'll continue this line out. Now this one right here, I got some dots. Back here I want to show you. You ain't gonna put a straight edge here, it's not gonna work. But I've got several little dots right here, so all I'm gonna do is eyeball it. So this is where we ended out at the tunnel. So I'm gonna start right here. I didn't leave myself much room right here. So I think I'm gonna come back another inch or so, cut that off, and that's gonna make it easier for us to line up the other piece. All I do is come back right there. I feel it cutting into the plaster. It's good enough. Just kind of peel that up a little bit and then get some good glue. And if it pulled up the plaster cloth, I don't care. We're gonna glue it back down right here anyway. So this is the strip I cut off. I think it's a little short. Pull that. It leaves me about 4 inches, 6 inches down there. Yeah, that'll work fine right there. All right. So get our glue. Just follow right along the line. Get your stick. Smear that around real good. And like I said, remember, just keep it right there against the line. The more further you get out on your glue, and you get ready to paint, that paint don't want to really blend on that glue for some reason. Tell you what, especially right up here on the end, I want to get extra glue, even on the road bed there a little bit. Right here in this turn, that's going to help ease a little better, I think. All right. Just push it up flush, push it up flush. Stay it in. Alright. In the turns, you're going to have to put, 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 of these. Once you get in straight, find your line and just push it down on there real good and tight. That glue smush you out. Alright, so that one's in place. Go ahead and use this short one. Figure out where the glue's going to stop. Just remember, this is just a blank canvas, so you can make marks on it. You can use magic marker if you want to. I think pencil works better once this plaster gets on there. And magic markers don't do too good. Now I watch videos on YouTube when they're doing their cork board, especially in the turns. They like to elevate the outside edges. And in the real world, they do the same thing. The momentum and the gravity and the G-force going through a curve, if the outside track is a tad higher than the inside track, keeps your car from tilting out too much. It kind of keeps it tilted in. Same way on the racetrack, racing cars, when they go around them outside curves, that's why they're banked up like that. So, we'll grab a couple more pieces. Good old wintertime coughs. Gotta love them. There, just right, just right. Have to cut a little bit off. Let's go ahead and pre-fit it. Turn it around the right way. It's just a little bit long. I'm going to get some cough mess. Alright, so we got these, they're ready to go in. Oh yeah. Oh, time for the glue. And y'all watching this right now, you might have noticed I've already messed up on something. And that's fine. On my turnout, I didn't turn it up. I just kept it on straight. And we're going to show you how to do that without having to worry with that. Or, we'll get this one in place. Just like that. And go ahead and follow the dots there. Just freehand draw that. Be just like that right there. We work fast, we can work through this. that line. There we go. That one out of the way. Like a glove. That glue all up in that. Smear it in there good. Oop, there, I picked up a spot. And this side over here should have been flat. Set that there for now. Like I said, any glue that's sticking up, smear it out. We don't want no humps when we get ready to start laying the track. Alright. So we need another small piece. I'm just going to go about right there. Bring it right here so you can see a little bit better. I'm probably all up in this camera. I ain't even paying no attention. I'm sorry, folks. I'm gonna bring it right there. That will work great. Yeah, that's gonna work great. Alright, one last thing, and we're going to call this video done for today. Or, I might do a time lapse of me doing everything else on the gluing down the roadbed. Don't need to bore you on everything else. This video is already running a little long. You can try to keep it down to 20 minutes video, but I know this one's going to be a little longer than 20 minutes, but a lot to talk about. Let's see. Take it in so it don't come apart. There you have it, folks. Like I said, I'll probably add a time lapse at the end of this. Yeah, this one segment right here is 25 minutes. So I'm probably going to do is do a little editing on it and speed up some of the sections, and then when I'm talking, then I'll bring you back. When I'm not talking, whatever. Hope y'all enjoy. Bye bye.